Imagine this scenario. You're sitting at your favorite restaurant, ordering that same shrimp dish you've enjoyed hundreds of times. But this time, something goes terribly wrong. Your body suddenly becomes a battlefield. Your breathing turns labored, your skin swells up, and you find yourself in an ambulance fighting for your life. A simple shrimp can kill you. But how is that possible? Why would our own immune system, designed to protect us, become our worst enemy? The answer takes us on an incredible journey through our evolutionary history, where we'll discover how humanity may have created allergies, completely, by accident. An allergy is like finding a spider in your bedroom and responding by detonating a nuclear bomb. Sure, the spider's gone, but so are all your neighbors and your dog. You can be allergic to an incredibly wide range of substances: pollen, dust, insect stings, animal dander, any kind of food, latex, and even your own sweat. One of the most shocking things about allergies is how fast they strike. They can erupt suddenly and violently, without any warning. And here comes the most disturbing twist. You can develop new allergies at any point in your life. One day you're peacefully enjoying seafood you've eaten thousands of times, and the next you wake up in an ambulance. But what exactly are allergies? Why does our body freak out over completely harmless substances? The answer is as fascinating as it is unsettling, and it takes us back to an ancient battle our ancestors fought against microscopic enemies, parasitic worms. For our ancestors, worm infections were a daily reality. In a world where drinking water and feces were close friends, certain worm species had perfected their life cycle. They entered the body through contaminated water, settled comfortably inside us, sometimes for decades, and then laid eggs that exited in feces and returned to the water we drank. This caused devastating health problems, and our immune system had to develop weapons to fight back. But how do you fight a worm? From a cell's perspective, worms are like gigantic kaiju monsters stretching beyond the horizon. Even worse, these parasites had a protective elastic outer layer that could withstand stomach acid. Killing a single worm required a literal army. If you find this evolutionary story interesting, leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating science content like this. Here's how this deadly army works. When a worm enters your body, intelligent cells detect its presence and activate specialized antibody factories called B cells. These produce a special class of weapons, IgE antibodies, tiny protein crabs that latch onto the worms like magnets. IgE antibodies flood your body and begin arming a biological nuclear bomb, a terrifying army of cells called mast cells. Mast cells are huge, swollen cells packed with histamine and other lethal chemicals. They collect IgE antibodies and cover themselves with them, like live grenades without pins, staying on high alert. Now you have millions of bombs waiting in your skin, lungs, and gut. When mast cells encounter a worm, they literally explode, releasing all their toxic chemicals at once. Some directly injure the worm, while histamine triggers massive inflammation, ordering blood vessels to flood the battlefield with water to wash away the invaders. But the fight is just beginning. Other chemicals act like air raid sirens, summoning anti-parasite soldiers, eosinophils. Hundreds of thousands respond to the call, leaving the blood vessels and rushing to the site of inflammation. They carry extremely toxic substances that they vomit onto the worm, tearing through its protective coat. Finally comes the basophil, which ensures that the immune system keeps attacking with increasing intensity, sustaining the inflammation and alerting more and more attack cells. The result? These chemicals cause smooth muscles to contract rapidly, forcing everything inside the body to get out. In the intestines, this results in diarrhea. In the airways, mucus and fluid are pushed outward. If it happens under the skin, tissue becomes red, hot and itchy as the immune system tries, quite literally, to commit murder. But what does all this have to do with killer shrimp? Here's where the story gets really interesting. Parasitic worms didn't enjoy being torn apart by millions of explosive cells, so they adapted to our attacks. They began releasing chemicals that manipulated and weakened our immune system, a kind of marijuana for immunity. Our ancestors were virtually powerless to prevent worm infections, so as the worms adapted to us, our bodies had to adapt to them. To balance the worm's immune-suppressing chemicals, one adaptation was to make our immune system more aggressive. Then, in an evolutionary blink of an eye, everything changed. We suddenly invented soap, hygiene, and, most importantly, the separation between feces and drinking water. This completely destroyed the life cycles of parasitic worms, and the few that remained were eradicated by modern medicine. But now, people living in these clean conditions face an interesting problem: an immune system without its main enemy, a system that had been kept in check for millions of years. It might very well be that our immune system still operates under the assumption that worms are weakening it and that it needs to overreact. And while IgE antibodies, mast cells, basophils, and eosinophils do have other jobs, a major reason for their existence has now vanished. But they still behave as if the worms are out there. Only now, they attack new enemies, like shrimp. This is exactly what happens during an allergic reaction. Your immune system recognizes shrimp proteins and produces IgE antibodies against them. These antibodies arm your mast cells, turning them into bombs, so now you have millions of bombs in your skin, lungs, and gut, all licensed to choose violence. Until one day you eat another shrimp, and your anti-parasite forces flip the switch, only there's no kaiju to fight. That's what you experience during an allergic reaction. Extremely powerful weapons target your own body. Under your skin, blood vessels become permeable. Fluids leak into tissue and your skin swells and turns red with itchy hives. In your digestive system, mast cells cause nausea, cramps, and sharp pain as water floods into the intestines, triggering severe diarrhea and vomiting. Your airways swell, making it hard to breathe. Even more dangerously, histamine can tighten the smooth muscles in your lungs. In the best-case scenario, you get a stuffy nose. In the worst case, you're suddenly fighting for your life. Mast cells all over your body detonate their bombs at once, causing anaphylactic shock. The blood loses so much fluid that blood pressure drops to dangerous levels. Combined with what's happening in the lungs, anaphylaxis is a life-or-death emergency, often with only a short window to act. Allergic reactions are no joke. Even the deadliest diseases like Ebola take days to kill you. Your immune system can do it in minutes. And that's why a shrimp can kill you. Because at a fundamental level, a brilliantly engineered defense system, vital for our species' survival for millions of years, is still fighting imaginary kaiju. Yet we still don't fully understand why some people produce lots of IgE antibodies to certain substances, and others don't. We don't know why some adults develop new allergies later in life, or why some allergies disappear over time, and we're not even sure if the lack of worms is the main culprit. What we do know is that the cells that evolve to fight them are responsible for allergy symptoms. There are other theories too, like less diverse microbiomes or increased pollution. But what we clearly see is that allergies and autoimmune diseases have skyrocketed over the past 100 years, everywhere humans have adopted cleaner living conditions. Allergies truly are a paradox of modern life. We managed to defeat parasites that plagued us for millions of years, only to create a new enemy, ourselves. So the next time you see someone with an allergy, remember, they're not defective. They're simply equipped with a defense system designed for a war we no longer fight. And that might be the greatest irony of human evolution. Sometimes winning means losing something else. If this video made you think differently about the mystery of allergies, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more science content exploring the hidden secrets of our bodies.